Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. I don't have a knife on the screen right now, but this is going to be a most carried video. A couple quick things I want to point out here. Number one, there has been a bit of a change I've had to make to my carry habits just because of the weather. So I'm going to leave you guys to guess what that is. I'm going to show you the stuff that's been in my pocket the most over the summer, but you'll notice a certain style of knife is conspicuously absent, and there's a good reason for that, which I don't think I'll reveal. I'll just see if you guys can guess down in the comments. I'll reveal it over on the Sharp Stuff Facebook page. If you're not a member, go over there and join to the Sharp Stuff Facebook page. It's really just, I share videos. Sometimes I share them early. I usually post sale videos. If I'm going to do a sale, I'll put it up over there and just give the members a heads up. Otherwise, guys, just sort of share stuff and talk about knives. It is not, I will add this, it's not a for sale site. So if you join, I'm not going to allow you to sell your stuff. There are tons and tons of sites for that. We don't need to add one more. Anyway, this is what's been in my pocket the most outside of a knife. Oh wait, there was another question I was going to bring up to you guys, and the other question is the knives that you see in this video are also mostly all contenders. There's a couple others that I have to switch out here, but most of these are going to be contenders in my "If You Could Only Keep One" follow-up video. I've actually had a couple requests for that, so I'm going to go through another "If You Could Only Keep One" video and discuss that a little bit and see if my mind has changed at all. So be looking for that probably next week or the week after, and go ahead and guess. You're welcome to guess, hey, it'll be the same knife as last time, or perhaps it'll be something else. I'm happy to hear your speculation. The other thing is, share with me down below what you've been carrying most. I always like to hear that. So now that we've gotten all that stuff out of the way, we're almost 2 minutes in. Man, I talk a lot. Let's do a quick rundown of the other stuff that's been in my pocket. So normally this is the keychain I have with me all the time. We got a little Olight on here, a Rescue Me, and my truck key on a little S-beaner, which I hesitate to even, technically it is an S-beaner, but it's not like climbing rated or anything. It's just a little keychain really. This pen is amazing. This is the X701. I really, really like this pen, and it pretty much surpasses everything. The odd time I still do carry the Wii T02, and I really want to try the Civivi version of that knife that's done in aluminum rather than titanium, because if it's just as good but just cheaper, that's a huge win. The other thing is I've got the Olight here. By the way, White Mountain Knives, go check them out. Southern Edge Knife Works, go check them out, and I will put Amazon links to, there's some stuff here that you can't find in a knife store, especially like the Rescue Me and some of the Olights and stuff, so I'll put Amazon links. This is the Olight S Mini, still my most carried light, and I've got a couple of other options. I just don't carry them as much. So let's start off with something a little bit different. It's summer, I've been outside a lot, I've been biking a lot with a friend of mine and my son, and because of being outdoors and just not having to, worry as much. The other thing is with COVID-19, my schedule is a little more flexible. So often I get up early and work in the morning or even work at night so that I can have more of the daylight hours free to do other stuff. So first thing I want to show you guys is these two fixed blades. I've done a full comparison between these two. These are two of my most absolute favorite fixed blades. I love both of these. One is the Lion Steel M4. This one is in G10. There are a number of options available for the handle. And this is the sadly now discontinued Chris Reeve Knives Nyala. Of course, it's micarta handle and Insingo blade shape. These two knives are fantastic. They really, really are. Not only do I enjoy them just from an enthusiast standpoint, but as practical, usable knives, they're both great as well. And I just, when I'm biking, I usually wear a fanny pack, so I'm trying to be as cool as possible. So I'll throw one of these in the fanny pack because I'm like, why not? If you can carry a fixed blade, why wouldn't you? So I do that, and yeah, these have been with me a lot. So great, 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 great options. Absolute favorite fixed blades right there, without question. If you have a favorite fixed blade, go ahead and mention that down in the comments as well. Okay, so let's get those guys out of the way and move on to folders. So let's start out. I've got a few Spydercos that I've been carrying a lot. I recently, not that recently, but a month ago, maybe more, picked up this Ivory Sprint stretch straight spine. I know I put those in all the wrong order. So a stretch 2 straight spine in ivory, really, really cool knife. I've been carrying that quite a bit. Para 2 will pretty much always be in these videos. The Spyderco Canis came to me not that long ago. Southern Edge Knife Works sent it along, and I've been carrying this one a lot. I think this is such a cool looking knife, and it cuts really well. So to me, that's a really nice balance. Like, this is a knife that people are going to be like, whoa, dude, what is that? And yet it's still extremely practical. It fits nicely in hand. Just a really, really great knife. Of course, I haven't reviewed it yet, but it's going to be a very positive review. I can't really think of much to complain about. And the other Spyderco here has been the Manix 2 Lockback. You know, I suspect that these two will be in almost every most carried video because they just get into my rotation a ton. I love the Spyderco Manix 2 Lockback. It just feels great in hand. I love the blade shape. I love everything about it. Same with the Para 2, a little more fidget friendly because of the compression lock and the action on this. I can never get rid of this Para 2 because it just has the most perfect action of any Para 2 that I have tried, and I would always be nervous that I wouldn't get as good an action on whatever I replaced it with. Let's get these guys out of the way and move on to some other stuff. I've got two more knives that you guys know are always on my favorites list, and that is the Cold Steel 8010 and the Cold Steel 8015. You know, it's been a while, guys, but I still stand by my pronouncement that I made when I talked about these. These may be the two best production knives ever because they're just such a great balance. They, you know, both of them really capture the aesthetic and the feel and pretty much deliver everything that you'd want out of the custom. They do so at a reasonable price point. Now, both of these have gone up in price a bit, which is a little unfortunate. Like, these used to be $140, which was amazing. And I think these were maybe 160, or maybe it was 150 and 100, I don't know. I want to say it was like 139 and 149 or 159. And that was fantastic. When these two came out, they both jumped in price, which is kind of sad. I always hate to see that happening. But obviously Cold Steel's selling a lot of them, and so they feel like, you know, supply and demand type of stuff. Anyway, pick them up on sale, or, you know, if you use my discount code at White Mountain Knives or Southern Edge, I don't know if they've got, you know, I don't know what they've got in stock, but at least you can save yourself 15%, or look for one on the secondary, although I don't know who would be insane enough to sell one of these because they're both so good. All right, enough ranting about Cold Steel. You guys are just going to think I'm like shilling for Lynn Anderson or something. Lynn Thompson. Here's another knife that's gotten a lot of carry. This is one, I just love this knife. If I'm going to go outdoors, if I'm really, anytime I have an excuse where I can carry something a little bigger, this is going to be on my short list. Benchmade Crooked River, it may be the best thing that Benchmade has ever done. And, you know, I just enjoy the heck out of it. So it gets carried an awful lot. Let's see. Let's move over to some higher end stuff. This guy, the Wii Zero 37. This, you know, this knife is fantastic. It scratches that itch for something high end, for something really nice, where the action is really dialed in and everything is really well put together. It also has a bunch of stuff to geek out over that I've gone over lots and lots of times, from this sort of inset clip to the way that the handle sides fit together. You know, everything is so well thought out on this knife. And then it weighs almost nothing, and it's a giant knife. So huge win. I just love this thing and carry it quite a lot. I know some of you, I get a couple of comments every so often about the looks. Next knife on the list, the Chris Reeves Knives Tanto in Cosi. Almost every Tuesday I carry this. You know, of course it's Tanto Tuesday. I carry it on a lot of other days as well. I just find this to be such a great knife. I've always liked the Cosi. It's definitely my favorite thing that Chris Reeves does. And this particular blade shape is really cool for this knife because the knife is just such a practical, usable, tough knife. And I find this blade grind, again, carries that practical, usable style into the blade. And no, not only that, but it looks really cool doing it. So, Chris Reeves Knives in Cosi. What else have we got here? Yes. This guy, the Riyad iron, is such a gorgeous knife from Riyad. And I mean, I like lots of Riyad knives. There are so many models that you could put on the list of, knives that you could own and use. But I almost feel weird. I don't know. I've had 3 or 4 or 5 in the collection at a time before, and it's just, they're all good, but I don't feel like I need that many of them. Now, this one is quite different. I love the styling. I love the blade shape. I love the hardware, the micarta, everything about this knife. I just really, really enjoy it. Not to mention the action. Now, the size is just a hair small for me, but it's still hand filling enough, and everything else about it I enjoy so much that uh, yeah, this one gets a lot of pocket time, especially I kind of treat it like a dress knife. So if I'm dressed a little nicer, maybe going out or wearing something that's like a big knife isn't that workable, then I'll carry this guy. It is such an enjoyable knife to have and use and carry. Thinking of knives that are just enjoyable, how about the XM18 Skinner grind with the bronze and green? Again, this is my favorite implementation. I just love everything, the blade shape, the colors, the green ano on the scales, all of the things that this knife just it's just such a great example. This is like a Gen 4, Gen 5, I can't remember. The action though is fantastic. I haven't switched these over. I do actually have a couple of extra phosphor bronze washers when I bought phosphor bronze washers for my Fatty Warncliffe, which I really, really liked. They sent 2 pairs. So I've got another pair and I just haven't bothered switching them out yet because this action is so, so good that I'd be afraid to ruin it. With the Fatty Warncliffe, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as this, and the phosphor bronze improved it a little. I don't know how you could possibly improve on this action. It is so, so nice. And last but not least, I think I've covered everything now. Last but not least is going to be the Riyad Torrent. So again, a knife that's been in practically every one of these videos. It's one of my favorite all-around knives, just because I find it strikes this crazy perfect balance where it's not too big, it's not too small, it's not too expensive, it's expensive enough to get all the high-end features. And this really has, you know, in terms of the features that this has and the quality of the action and the materials and just the overall design, there are knives that cost way, way more that don't have action this good. Dual row ceramic bearings, the detent is perfect on this, and so it's hard to. It almost becomes hard to even recommend. Like, this is so close to even to an Arius. Now an Arius feels a little bit better, but not that much. And so you kind of go, this is like less than half of an Arius if you buy it on the secondary market. So I mean, just a huge win. Okay, guys, so there you go. What's been in your pocket the most? Feel free to speculate about, out of these knives or even others you happen to know I have in the collection, which do you think would be the one knife that I would keep? Let me know what's been in your pocket. Don't forget to use those links. That does help the channel an awful lot. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.